Mario Bros. Luigi.
I hope she made lots of spaghetti.
Bill Murray. Ghostbusters. What happens when you combine them? Well, you get Luigi's Mansion, a game consisting of Luigi, Mario's brother, having to suck up ghosts of a vacuum throughout a haunted house. Luigi's Mansion was the first GameCube game I ever played, and I didn't even play it on a GameCube. Now, some who were born after the Nintendo Wii was released, and the fact that there are kids today who were born after this console was released and they've never played it kind of shocks me. Time does fly. But the Wii had a feature where you could play GameCube games on it. Only on the first one, though. It had ports on the top of the console where you plug the memory card and all the other stuff in. This is how I played it when I was about 7 or 8. Being 7 or 8, the game really frightened me. I don't think I've actually ever beaten this game until this review, just because when I was playing it when I was younger, I was way too scared to do so. Everything about the game scared me way too much to actually play it. The game was released on September 14th, 2001, with the GameCube. It was a launch title. I think this is a really good launch title for the game. The game still looks amazing by today's standards, I think, and that can be said with almost all GameCube games, I believe. PS2 graphics compared to this game are just night and day. The GameCube also used smaller discs compared to the competition, just another way Nintendo tried to be different. This game's very fun, I think. The concept works really well, and for a younger child, it can give serious feelings of unease. Much like every other Nintendo game I reviewed so far, there has been a 3DS remake of the game. Now, unlike the last 2 games I did, I've actually never played this. To remember correctly, this remake came out at the very end of the 3DS life cycle, so I just never played it. No need to buy it. Also, unlike the last 2 games I reviewed, this game's been played on an emulator, specifically Dolphin, since it's pretty cool, and there is not a port for this. GameCube emulation I think is pretty spot on, so if there was a PC port for the game, I'd probably never play it. Now, this review is going to be said very differently from the last 2. Zelda had an overarching story, and Mario 64 had 15 stages to review. This game has 4 areas, each containing mini-bosses, and bigger boss battles at the end. I will be reviewing each area on its own, and rating it as such, so as you can already tell, this review is going to be a lot shorter than the last 2, by a long shot. With all that said, on to the review. This game originally took on a very different tone. Beta footage shows it looking much grittier and darker, a theme I really do enjoy, as you can see in the footage now. Since this was a launch title, the team behind the game could ask the GameCube staff what they wanted the system to do. One such thing was stereoscopic 3D, which wasn't used in the game, or any game I can recall, but the GameCube can still do it. This game dictated many of the GameCube's capabilities. Originally, the game was supposed to be on a time limit, but this was removed. The Game Boy Horror was used as a timer. As you can see, some of these differences are in the footage that's playing in the background now. The plot of the game is pretty simple. Luigi wins a mansion in a contest that he didn't enter. He finds the mansion, then he finds out it's haunted, then he's tasked by Professor Egad, who gives him the Poltergeist 3000 to get rid of all the ghosts. You later find out Mario is captured inside a painting by King Boo. So now you must save Mario and clear the mansion. The plot isn't anything super intense. It's more than Mario 64, but much less than Zelda. I like this level of plot involvement. I think it works really well for the Mario series and overall as a whole. Also, there's a lot of very optional lore to discover about these ghosts here. The game also involves a lot of easy puzzles to span out time. Gameplay-wise, this is very solid. This game feels super fun to play. Capturing ghosts makes you feel super satisfied when you capture them. You have to fight the ghosts with a control stick, so when you capture them, it doesn't feel like luck. It's extremely solid. To capture ghosts, you must flash them with a flashlight to stun them, then you can capture them. It's an extremely solid system, and I think it's damn near perfect. Although, there's one issue with the combat, and this is an error on my part, but when I would capture a ghost, the flashlight would be sticking right up at the ceiling, and it made some parts very difficult. Other than all that, the combat's very well. There's also a lot of money to be made here as well. There's millions of dollars just lying around the mansion. Depending on how much you collect, you get a mansion as the end of your reward. You can't explore it though, but you do get a portrait of it. The portrait ghosts here, the fight, are also very fun. They all require some sort of puzzle to solve where you can stun them, and figuring out each one is very fun. The mansion is also well designed from a gameplay stance, and by the end of the game, you'll know the mansion like the back of your hand. My only issue is that floors 1 and 2 have very similar shape in Area 2, and when I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, I had to check the map to see what floor I was on. Gameplay-wise, this game holds up extremely nicely. Visually, I think this game looks amazing. It's very appealing, doesn't look aged at all, unlike other games in this era, like GTA San Andreas. All the visual effects look very good, and you can tell a lot of work went into this. Dust kicks up from Luigi when he walks, particle effects look amazing, it still looks good almost 23 years later. It's very strange to think that graphics from 20 years ago look just as good as games today. With all the non-plot and gameplay elements out of the way, it's probably best now we discuss the areas. The game begins with Luigi walking up to the mansion, with an in-game rendered cutscene, so it still looks pretty good. Playing Super Mario Sunshine made me realize that cutscenes playing a 144p video look horrible today. Thank God they decided to render these in real time, since it makes the game look more timeless. Luigi enters the mansion, and when you walk around the foyer, you can try to open some doors. When you finally try to double doors at the top, a key will drop in the center of the foyer, where you can then enter the door. In that room, you're ambushed by a ghost, where then Professor E. Gadd saves you, and then recruits you to fight the ghost for him. He gives you a fun training sequence which doesn't break the flow of the game so far. He also shows you the gallery, and if you want to see the portraits of the ghost, you can see them here. These interactions don't feel forced at all, and work so wonderfully. With the pre-game area finished, it's now time to get into the juice of this game. Since you have the key to the room you just got ambushed in, it's probably best you go there. But now in the foyer, there's a toad in the room. He's crying, and he'll rant to you about how Mario is missing. Aww. But you can also talk to these toads to light up the rooms and save. That's the real important bit about this. It's also a good idea to save often. This game is very linear. When you finish a room, typically a door will open, or you'll retrieve a key, which will take you to the next area. The rest of the game follows this formula set up here, with gauntlets of ghosts leading up to the portrait ghosts, and then you finally get to the boss ghost. The boss ghost for this area is the baby, Chauncey. This battle is not super hard, but it is pretty fun. It's a good battle and will catch you off guard, since the last two ghosts before this follow the exact same formula as the regular portrait ghost, where you stun them via a puzzle, and then you capture them. This boss battle involves you blasting bounty balls at the baby to stun him. After you beat him, the area is cleared and you can now explore Area 2. The rest of the area will also be lit up. In Area 2, the game really ramps up in difficulty. This area contains much more playing space and a lot more ghosts to battle. The key is unlocked at the very end of Area 1. This is the door on the first floor of the foyer. This is the main hallway, and many other rooms connect here. You also unlock the fire and water medallions, which let you use fire and water you find around the mansion. Some ghosts here require you to use elements to defeat them. These elements are not a hassle to use and are balanced very well. The boss fight for this area sends you outside to fight the Bogmire. I died once fighting him and I thought it was a real pain, but this is a really fun battle once you figure out what to do. Also in this area, you free all the boos around the mansion, and now you can backtrack to find them. There are 50 of them around the mansion, and you need 40 of them to fight the released King Boo. Also, capturing them is a little bit different, and it requires a lot more skill than just flicking the control stick back and forth. What you need to do is follow them around the room, and if you're really bad at it, they'll leave the room. The Game Boy Horror also beeps when boos are near, so they're not super hard to find. Area 2 shows how great the game is, and lets you explore the mansion more. With Area 2 finished, it's now time for Area 3. Area 3 starts in the backyard of the mansion. In here you can find Mario, but he's in a painting, and he's being guarded by King Boo. You can also find some of the items out here, which you need to take to the Fortune Teller Ghost to get more data on Mario. Also in this area, you unlock the Ice Element, which is used maybe 2 times in the entire game. One part of this area that sticks out to me is when you get Mario's Star, where when you look at the moon via telescope, the room that you're in turns into space, where you can get the star. It's very cool and it still awes me to this day. The boss of Area 3 is Boolossus. He's a real pain to fight, but you do get 10 boos after defeating him, so it moves the boo hunt meter up. I had 38 boos after this battle. This area is really fun, but the next area I think is even better. This is the penultimate area of the game. You are in the attic, and the power goes out. Ghosts are now in every room. The breaker room is locked, so you need to find a key. In the wardrobe room, you can find a key with a ghost. After this, the game is very easy again. After you beat each area, the liminal spaces between each are lit up, like I mentioned earlier. But with this, all rooms are out of power, and ghosts are spawning at comical rates. This part of the game is very difficult. The boss of this area is Vincent Van Gogh. He makes you battle most of the ghosts you've already encountered again 3 times. The trash can ghosts, who you have to fight here again, are also awful, and I think they are the worst in the game. I can never stun them properly. After you beat him, you get the key to the final boss. The final boss is Bowser. Whoa, did you expect that? No, it's actually King Boo. He throws spiky balls at you and you must hit him with the balls. I had some serious trouble with this fight. My balls would just never register to hit him. So this fight was really frustrating, and it was kind of a disappointment. But after all it's said and done, King Boo was defeated and Mario was saved. You do get a really cool outro sequence with Mario being turned back into a person and not a painting. It's a very nice ending, I do enjoy it. This game is very solid. I think it's a really fun game to play. Each area takes about an hour or so to do so if you know what you're doing. And it's also spaced out really well. It took me just over 4.5 hours to finish, and I had a lot of fun while doing it. I didn't get burnt out while playing this at all like it did with Mario 64 or Legend of Zelda, since I would do an area a day. This game is honestly really good, and I can see myself replaying it for how fun it is. There are some secret ghosts I didn't get, but I may replay it for those secret ghosts. And you also get a better mansion at the end of the game. This game doesn't get too boring for me. It's a lot of fun and I really do enjoy it. You, the viewer, should look into playing this game. Also, there's a new game plus mode, where you do more damage, but the ghosts do more damage as well, and they spawn more, which I believe is a pretty good trade-off. So you made it through the video. We are now at the official unscripted final part. This is exactly what I have in the script, and right below that it says aim for 5 minutes. So I don't know if we're gonna hit that. This video, I don't know how long it's gonna be, but I know it's gonna be pretty short. It's gonna be a lot shorter than the last two, but to make up for that, I should have, by the time you're seeing this, there should be another video out. I don't know what you guys will think about it. I think it'll be okay. I mean, it's gonna be a little different than what I usually do, as you guys already know, but I don't know. I haven't even made it yet, so you guys will know exactly what I'm talking about. So this game, so my history of this game is a little weird. So so when I was like 5 or 6, I knew, because we had the first version of the Wii. So I opened up the Wii, see the ports, and asked my dad, oh, what's that? And he had a GameCube when it came out. That was like the last Nintendo console he bought, because he thought it sucked. Which I don't blame. Like, the console didn't sell that well. So he said, that's for the GameCube. I didn't like that too much, but if you want a game, I can find you one. So I think like a week or two later, he had bought me and my siblings, I think it was Super Mario Sunshine was the first, or in Luigi's Mansion. And I believe I had scratched the disc up for Super Mario Sunshine so much that he had to get me another copy. So I think the only GameCube games I had on that was Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy, the Cars racing game, which is really good. My voice cracked there. Luigi's Mansion, as you guys know, and Super Mario Sunshine. I think that was it. I really think that was it. I can't remember. If there was another game, they must have not been that good, because I don't remember them. And I played the hell out of those games, because I like the GameCube games. And that's like the GameCube, that's all I had. That's all I really knew about the GameCube. But Luigi's Mansion, I really like that game because there was a YouTuber named Beta64, and he should still be. I'll double check if he's still around. I feel like I did this on the last episode. Or maybe no, I did. So my last Mario 64 video, I had 2 unscripted things. I had the original one, which I recorded before I even edited the video, and then the final, which I did right after I edited the video. So this is before I'm editing the video. I have finished segment 1 because this video is much shorter, but I wanted to get this all done with. So it looks like he hasn't uploaded in a year, but he used to make some really good videos, and I'm surprised. I thought he would have had like 7 million subscribers by now, but he only has less than 500,000. But he was a really good YouTuber. I really enjoyed his videos when I was a kid. And, like, I doubt he'll see this, but maybe someone could forward this to him. He just did an amazing job. His first video was the Luigi's Mansion video. Then he did one about the NTSC bug code, or debug code, which I remember. Then he did Zelda, Majora's Mask, or Zelda Gaiden. Sorry, the title said Zelda Gaiden. I read that first. But he did a lot of the games that I had played, like Mario 64. I never played Ocarina of Time till I was Majora's Mask till I was older, but he did Luigi's Mansion, Mario 64, Super Smash Bros. On Nintendo 64, Super Paper Mario, Super Sunshine, Super Mario 64, Link to the Past, all those games. He did a lot of these. And I remember he did a review of the EverDrive 64, and I wanted one for a while, but I never actually got one. But he did some really good videos. It's a shame he doesn't upload anymore, because he was really cool. I really liked his videos, but Luigi's Mansion, I was obsessed with it, but also scared of it at the same time when I was little because of that video, because it was genuinely terrifying, and I'll link that in the description because it's really cool. I think he did revisit it a few years back, I think, but he did about 4 years ago. Jeez, that was a while ago. He revisited it, and I mean, he's done some. Let's see if I bet I don't know if he's ever uploaded to his Twitter, but let's see. Joe, June 28th. Oh my goodness, he's relaunching it. That was actually 2 days ago. That's really cool. That's awesome. So he still uploads to his Twitter. That's awesome. That's really nice. Okay. So, and ironically, he has 64 million views on his channel. Very nice, very cool. So that's really all I can say about the Luigi's Mansion. Now, some of you may have seen this coming. The next game has been polled. I put out a poll 2 days ago. I was recording this. New poll, Skibbities. What game is next? And my your free options were Sonic 3 and Knuckles, Super Mario World, and Half-Life. And the 3 people that voted Super Mario World, which is fine. I have never fully beaten that game, so I don't know how long it's going to take. I have not played that game in forever. So, I'm kind of disappointed no one has chosen Sonic 3 and Knuckles. In fact, I don't think anybody's ever chosen Sonic 3 and Knuckles, so we'll see what happens. When the Ocarina of Time source port, not source port, the PC port comes out, I will put everything down to do that. But that one I may have to split into 2 parts just because Ocarina of Time is such a long game. So, I think that's what's really going to happen there. There's not much more to talk about in this episode. Hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure to please subscribe, like, all that good stuff. And Super Mario World will be next. And that would probably be on the week of... If I'm planning for this to come out on the week of, like, July 8th, July 7th. It's probably going to come out July 10th or July 9th. We'll see then. But that means the Super Mario World is probably going to be out sometime in the week of July 22nd, 23rd, 24th, those days. So I hope you guys stay tuned for that. I hope you guys like, subscribe, and do all that other cool stuff. Comment, share with your buddies. I don't know. Maybe if you're a little bigger, maybe put a little community post about any of my videos, please. Please. That's really about it. I mean, I can't really say much about this video. It's clearly going to be shorter. This outro segment's kind of making up for that, but that's really all it is. Now, also with the channel, if you do have a keen eye, you may have seen a podcast pop up. I used to run a podcast. If you actually snoop around the channel enough, you can definitely find the YouTube channel for it or the Spotify links. I used to run it. I kind of fell out of it, but I kind of want to get back into it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'm probably going to make an episode sometime later this week. It may just be updates about this channel. I don't know what it's going to be. I'm not really sure. I used to try to talk about politics on there, but I just can't really see. Like, I love politics and stuff, but I just can't really talk about it for that long. Because I start repeating myself. But that's really about it. I mean, I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Make sure to check out the show, the podcast, the JoeCast, that's what it's called, yes. But I'll make sure to get all that up there. Hope you guys enjoyed all the stuff we're doing so far. We've actually gained 11 subscribers since I started doing this again, which is surprising to me. I didn't expect any of these videos to actually shoot off into the algorithm. Surprisingly, How Rich is the Man in the Yellow Hat is still getting views, which kind of pisses me off, but it is what it is. Sorry, I burped. But that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed and have a nice day.